Venture X card from Capital One gives you premium travel benefits, perfect for seeing Taylor Swift The Eras Tour. Presented by Capital One. Ooh, I do love her. Earn 5 times miles on flights and 10 times miles on hotels through Capital One Travel.
Enjoy your stay in Suite 13.
Whoa, 13? That's Taylor's lucky number. The Venture X card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Office Depot Office Max has great deals on everything you need to succeed, like stylish furniture and chairs to keep you working comfortably, the latest tech to keep you organized and productive, calendars and planners to keep you on schedule, and cleaning supplies to keep your space spotless. It's the perfect time to stock up on the supplies you need to succeed, from the office to your home and everywhere in between. Need it fast? No problem. Place your order at OfficeDepot.com and pick it up in just 20 minutes at your nearest Office Depot or Office Max store.
Hello. Welcome in. Better late than never. Welcome to the Eric Zane Show Podcast, a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures from right here in the beautiful, posh Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker Studios. Baldwin Ace Hardware, a beacon of DIY awesomeness in the Northland. All right. It was a very, very different day today. I mean, obviously, I'm starting much later doing this show. If you're following live, if you're listening to the recorded version, you're like, I detect nothing different. But I had to, I could not start the podcast at 8 a.m. Eastern time today because I had commitments, things that I had to do. And it was morning radio. I haven't done morning radio live in years. More than 4 years since I went into a radio station bright and early and did radio. And it's frankly a miracle that it came together. Because on Saturday, I sat down right here to do my little voice tracking, which I've covered with you what that is. I speak into this microphone and it gets pre-recorded and it goes out on a radio station called Big 101.3 on the weekend, 6 p.m. to late night, playing the Monkees and Neil Diamond. And that's fine. But when I do that, I have to log into the iHeart email. So I log into the iHeart email that time and that time only when I'm getting ready to voice track to see what they want me to talk about. And there's an email from a couple of the guys that do the morning show on this terrifically fantastic radio station called Wood Radio, where they do a lot of news, traffic, sports, information-based stuff. Actually, very highly rated radio station. That's the one that Pudding's on after. So this show is on from 6 to 9, and then the Pudding Show. MAGA Time with Pudding is what it's known as, from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Well, anyway, so before that, they do this show, and it is a gentleman by the name of Steve Kelly, who's been on the air in Grand Rapids for some time. He took over for Gary Allen. Gary Allen, longtime radio veteran. And Steve took that gig. Before that, Steve was on WSNX years prior. So it's Steve and then Brett Bakita, sports dude, and a young lady by the name of Lauren Smith or Schmitty. Bakita, I was informed, hey, the end of March, Eric, we want you to sit in and do sports. And Steve and Brett are going to be taking off, so it'll just be you and Lauren. I go, perfect. She runs the show? Yeah. I go, now that I can do. I can write my little sports cast. I'm all about it. So I've been like, that's going to be fun. I opened up that email the other day, and it's Bakita and Steve are, hey, so yeah, you should be good to go for Monday, and this, that, and the other. I go, well, why would they write me this 1 month in advance and make it seem like it's this Monday? So then I'm looking at the calendar, Monday, the 27th of March. And I go, well, maybe I got it wrong. Maybe it's this week, the February 27th. So I called up the boss. His name's Dave. Great dude. In fact, Dave and I used to live in an apartment complex. I was with the Queen of the Forest. We were married. And Dave lived like next door. This is the same apartment complex when I euthanized the hamster. Dave was my neighbor. True story. When I went out to murder the hamster, Dave was in his room probably getting high or something. Well, anyway, Dave runs a radio station now, decades later. So I called Dave up and I go, hey, buddy, when you wanted me to sit in on Wood Radio, that was the last week in March, correct? He says, yeah. I go, well, I'm looking at the emails here, and it appears that I'm supposed to be there coming up on Monday, the 27th of February. Is that right? He goes, yeah. And I go, okay. This is the first I've heard of this. And I made sure. I checked my email to make sure that there wasn't anything I deleted or something I missed. And I couldn't find anything. And so there's a long pause, and he's like, he's no doubt searching his memory banks. Did I tell Eric? Did I inform? And I was not informed. And so I immediately let him off the hook. I go, it's okay. It's it's Saturday. I said, honestly, you give me 10 minutes. That's all the lead up I need, So no big deal. How hard can it be? And so I said, I just wanted clarification. So that was it. So, but then what that did is it just put me in with this show, I haven't had time to publicize it until the podcast audience, hey, look, it's going to be a little different Monday because I'm going to be doing that. So I posted something. I doubt everybody saw it, but that's why I was late. That's why I'm late today. And punchy. When you get up at 4 a.m, what? Oh, fucking shit. No, my God. That was the worst part of all of this. So, yesterday, I went ahead and wrote my sportscast. You got 90 seconds. 90 seconds, 2 minutes tops. This is your ESPN 96.1 sports update on Wood Radio. I'm Eric Zane in for Brett Makita, blah, 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 blah. Michigan beat Wisconsin. So I write all that stuff out last night. Got my little sound bites to play, and it was great. I enjoyed it. Hardest part was getting up that early, but I was prepared. Basically, just got clothes on, brushed my teeth, washed my face and hands, leave. Driving hours before the world wakes up. It's been a long time since I've had to do that. Get down there. Did my thing. That show, okay, so Steve, the guy who runs it, it's the most amount of time you will be discussing anything is 4 minutes. There were some interviews that were booked with people who might be pushing a book or talking about something current or whatever. It's a very tightly run ship. Everything has an exact time. The sportscasts are at 19 after the hour and 49 after the hour. Not a minute before, not a minute after. And that's how you do it. You have trained the audience that this is going to happen here, here, and here, and then they get used to that. Pretty much the audience turns over very rapidly, so you do a half hour, and by the time you start the next half hour, it's all new people listening. That's how radio works. But it was cool. I enjoyed it. Had a good time. I try to make myself as available as possible for those things in the event that they, you never know when they might need a helping hand. And I like doing it like this, that I'm no longer beholden to radio. I don't have to, rely on that in any way, shape, or form. I just do it if I can. One thing that could have gotten bad, though, this is these are people that I don't know. So, I'm not really going to let the real Eric fly out. I'm just going to kind of sit there quietly and speak when spoken to and things like that. And it's great. But they were all very, very comfortable and fun. But I'm sitting there in this chair, and then, well, I had to fart. And so then I'm like, boy, they feel a little hot leaving me. So I'm pretty sure these have a strong stench. And I didn't want to do that, but I'm like, I can't move, and I'm just sitting there and I'm like, I detect nothing. That is good. So, the first 3 hours, I'm there in that chair. How I didn't have to go to the bathroom, I don't know. But then I'm like, I got to go pee. It's 8:19. I've been seated in there for more than 3 hours. Well, it's just a little bit before that. For, like I said, 3 hours. And I, shifted my weight in the chair, lift my ass up. And then it was then that I discovered that the chair has been storing fart in it. Inside of the padding and the fabric. And my ass was keeping a lid on it. And when I moved my weight around in the chair, I pushed 3 hours worth of fart into the air at once. And I was like, what? Oh, no. It's one of those, what do you call it? Delayed action fuses. Oh, my God. And instantly, where I am is just funk. And I'm like, I'm just hoping to God that this does not get over to where they are. And they didn't indicate, either of them, that they were getting it, but I don't know. I'm suspicious that they probably think I'm some type of animal. Cole says those damn chairs are always storing fart and urine. I don't know about the urine. Well, maybe if I'm seated on it because I'm peeing on the back of my pants like I like to do. That's what Ryan indicates. Oh, no, hobo urine smell last week at the other radio gig. Now shit smell. Hey, that Eric Zane, he sure stinks. Corey asked me for some reason if Greg really blocked me on Facebook. I don't know. I just know I'm blocked on their show's Facebook, but whatever. Kabubi69 writes, today's show on wood was the best version I've heard in a long time. Oh, come on. All right. So that was a good time. Corey said, when you were trying to look at a picture of Greg last podcast, you said, well, he has me blocked. Oh, maybe I did. I don't know. Perhaps he does. Chris says, yeah, that Zane guy came and helped out, and he just ripped ass the whole time and left. As if Steve were saying that. Want to share with you an email I got from Rob, which I found very, very funny. Rob T. Believe lives in the Grand Rapids area. Subject line, this is the problem I have with you and your show. He reached out to me on the Shoreliners Striping inbox. Dear Eric, hearing the old episodes of Free Beer and Hot Wings last week, excuse me, reminded me that you, I guess he means you made me realize you have not changed over the years. There has been some natural evolution as you have, quote unquote, matured, but you have remained who you are. And this is what I appreciate. Actually, when he said that, that made me feel good. I'm glad that he feels that way and is able to pick that out. He says, but the thing is, now that you are on a podcast with no restrictions, there is no filter at all on your content. And this is where my problem happens. In fact, here are just a few examples of what I'm talking about. Around the holiday season, songs with titles like Jingle Bell Cock were played. People are regularly given nicknames like Muff Tat Dog Bitch. Now, I did not make Muff Tat Dog Bitch up. I think that might have been Rob or maybe Ryan. I don't know, but I love it. On yesterday's show, Rob continues, you actually said, and I quote, "Give me the opportunity and I will absolutely put my own penis in my mouth." Followed by, quote, "Raise your hand if you're in the pick your ass and smell it faction." Some people could consider this kind of content to be not kid-friendly, not mainstream, not safe for work. I would agree with that. He says, personally, I'm okay with all of this. It makes me laugh. In fact, I laughed again as I typed all of that out. It's all so ridiculous. He says, I don't think any less of you for it because I've seen how you've maintained your broadcast integrity, how you treat your family and audience. Some would argue that I have treated various members of the audience poorly. More on that in a second. And how you've responded to my emails in the past. The crudeness is just superficial, and it's funny. But this is actually the problem, he writes. I think you're such a good guy, I forget how gross and inappropriate you might seem to some people who don't know you. And I should remember this before I do things like refer your show to the nice lady from hockey, Jen, to speak to you about the Youth Hockey League. I don't know her well enough to know that she would approve of your show. After missing much of the season, we have recently returned to the rink, and she walked right past me a week or two ago, and she didn't say a word to me. She just looked at me sideways. In my mind, in that moment, I could see her thinking to herself that I must have been some kind of sick bastard for endorsing the kind of content I referenced above. That could just be my imagination, but the thought of it makes me laugh. What doesn't make me laugh is to think that I may have caused your hockey and podcast worlds to collide in an awkward and bad way. You mean great way, Rob. If I put you in a bad spot by trying to get her to talk to you about the league so-and-so a couple months ago, I'm so sorry about that. I should have thought that through, and I apologize. Now, I don't recall. I don't know if I have or did or was speak. I don't remember, so I think you're fine. Rob goes on to say, all that said, I would not want you to change what you do. Your show remains the area's last stronghold of broadcast authenticity and hilarity. Thank you very much. I will continue on as an average audience member doing what an average audience member should do. Enjoying the insults, trying to avoid doing anything stupid, and supporting where I can. Sincerely, Rob T. No, Rob, that was perfect. Thank you. I really appreciate that. You're great. All good, and I'm so glad that you reached out. I've got another email I want to get to. But we're at a weird spot right now because I already have to go potty. I've been drinking coffee all morning. I just consumed a massive smoothie, which, by the way, Diana sent me a little one-sheet internet piece on chia seeds. And these things are absolutely amazing. My God. There are so many amazing health benefits from chia seeds. You must add them to your diet. My God. All sorts of you look at whatever nutrient you need, and typically in a day's amount of food, it'll take all day to get various amounts of vitamin this, vitamin that, and I don't have it all written down. But chia seeds are ridiculous. Plenty of calories, good carbs, protein, fiber, the right type of fat, omega-3 fatty acids. And Also a great source of antioxidants. Can lower your risk of premature death in many, many ways. They are just great. You must put these into your diet somehow. I do it through those smoothies that I make, which today's was awesome. Ice, cup orange juice, cup almond milk, banana, 3/4 cup vanilla organic yogurt, no sugar, 2 tablespoons chia, scoop of that supplement that I put in there. What did I say it was called? Son of a bitch. God. Forget. I don't know. But freaking sweet. All right. But for now, first of all, thank you, folks. If you're enjoying the show on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. But I got to send you on your way. I do that so that you will actually go and sign up on Twitch and watch the whole show on Twitch. That way it's not interrupted in any way, shape, or form. Twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. Twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. Either download the app, the Twitch app, or do it on your desktop or your laptop. Twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. When you have that, you can watch the show later on, video on demand. You can dim the screen when I'm doing it live, running through your Bluetooth on your car stereo, and off you go. And then, of course, the audio podcast wherever you download shows. And I'm on all of them. If you have the ability to rate it and review it, please do that. And subscribe to the audio podcast. Okay, I'm going to send you on your way. Twitch and Facebook brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. Twitter brought to you by Blue Frost IT. Stay put. I will be right back right after this. It's the first time in a while I've been doing this show wearing pants. But I had to wear pants today. That's not great. Could have put on the sweats, but decided against it. Oh, man. I tell you what. You guys, excuse me. Doing these, doing the show so early, that just takes a lot out of you. We're not designed to get up at that time. And then I'm usually used to, I get 8+ hours of sleep every night, But when you have to get up at 4, that kind of becomes difficult. So now I am completely gassed. I'm running on fumes. But I'm driving home, and I was falling asleep at the wheel. And I'm like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go home, and I'm going to go back to bed. And I'm like, no, you can't. You can't do it. There's no way. As soon as I do that, I might as well just stay in bed for the whole day and on into the night. And how embarrassing would that be if I'd need that much recovery from just getting up a couple hours before I normally do? Oh, Jesus. Thank you, Chris. Chris says, oh, hi, great job this morning. I appreciate that. Chris is one of 2 who are having an issue with Patreon. I will fix that. I'm working on. I'm still waiting to hear back from them. I was hoping I would hear back from the folks at Patreon, but it's like, yeah, submit a trouble ticket, and as soon as we get it, we'll ignore it. My God. Back to the email. Ashley writes, I used to listen to you on Smug Beer. When you got released from them, I watched your videos, you and the Queen of the Forest. Somehow I quit listening, but I started back about 4 months ago. I hear you reference the Zaniacs quite often, but I am lost on that, or maybe forgot. Could you explain that? Well, that depends. There was a time when I was on the radio on BBL before podcasting that was what we called audience members. And then, I don't know, it just kind of developed into more and more odd because the Zaniacs United page turned into a very select group of people. And a lot of people were like, boy, I don't know if I like being part of this group. And this is before the shit hit the fan with me, but they were making themselves known as this type of ultra-conservative hate group, essentially, is what they are. And I was in denial about that until they started to infect my life with a lot of the nonsense that they were putting me through. I was constantly getting interrupted at home with people banging on my door unannounced. And a lot of things like that. A lot of packages being sent to my house. Stalker shit. These became stalkers. So the last straw was when one of the scumbags decided to park out in front of my house for half a day until I got home so that he could get my... It's a long story, but essentially that's it. And because I got mad at him and said, get the fuck out of here, that was it. So from then on, they've kind of been... And I think that a lot of it had to do also with politically, I changed my game. I realized at the end of the 2020 election that everything on the right is psychopath. And then COVID came, and that made it even worse. So these people were kind of lost. They had nothing but each other. Eventually I grew tired of the act and alienated them as they alienated me, and that's it. We cut each other out of our lives, and then that seems to be it where it is right now. I don't honestly. The show is a million times better without them. From the standpoint of the audience live on Twitch, we've completely turned over an entirely new group of people that aren't so stupid. The show is smarter now. There's a smarter group of people that pay attention to the show. That group, it was about 20 people. After they went away, all of a sudden, it was much more enjoyable for people following the show on Twitch. And before that, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, when you'd make comments. Because, my God, talk about a polarizing bunch of assholes. I am so much better off without that pack of losers and scumbags and racists and extreme right-wing lunatics. These are crazy. These are people who believe that COVID doesn't exist and all the shit about the vaccine, all those psychopaths. It's all fucking nuts. So when they left, your old pal Eric Zane was in a much better place. Oh, and by the way, they all have group sex. I forgot about that part. Thank you for reminding me. They get together often and they have sex with each other. And there's nothing, these are, a lot of them are, some of them are single, some of them are not. There's a lot of wife swapping going on and things like that. That's great. You're not going to get any judgment out of me. Okay? NW980 says, let's acknowledge they did give you some good drops to play.
Let's got the big black dick because I know you want to hear it.
Yeah, without a doubt.
I'm a 50-year-old man doing what a 50-year-old man should.
Thank you for that. Corey says, story short, they're basically dirty trash people that have orgies and like to send beheaded bobbleheads to Eric. Aram says this podcast was built on the backs of Zaniacs. That is awesome. All right. Thank you, Ashley, for rejoining the show. Chris, the Ben Wallace one last week was unreal. What, the story about when I walked in on Ben Wallace taking a leak? Joe Stinkpot, welcome. Joe, I see you. He says he's not 50 yet. Joe Pellerito. Not to be confused with Mike. Yay on Joe, nay on Mike. Now, also need to know that all of these people that I've cut out of my life, they all still listen. Every one of them. The Ben Wallace story with
Let's got the big butt dick because I know you want to.
is what got Chris going. Oh, my God. You're not kidding. Look, folks, when this show gets done, I still am going to do a Patreon today. I owe you one, and I will make that happen. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. Okay. When I built the podcast, the idea was I'm going to talk on the free podcast about the Patreon, and you can listen to your heart's content for free every day as much as you want. But if you want to help me out, whether you listen or not, sign up for Patreon. I like to put a lot of material on the Patreon. It's another way for you to get Eric Zane Show Podcast content. It's like OnlyFans with no porno. P as in Paul, A, T as in Tom, REON, patreon.com/Eric Zane. Sign up for $5 or $10 a month. $5 a month is all the audio, $10 a month, the audio, the video, and the live streams. Off you go. Thanks to my friends at the Kent County Health Department for having me talk about their initiatives to help people as they get through their day-to-day lives. Okay, let's say you have a little one and their baby teeth are growing in. Have you ever heard of fluoride varnish? Yes. Now, here's the thing. Kids eat like dicks. I mean, they don't eat dicks, but they eat a lot of sugar. That's what they love. And parents can only do so much. And then it's like, the kid's driving you nuts. Here, eat some candies. Shut up. Well, when those baby teeth rot, and they will rot, they don't have the tooth underneath it yet. So they get like the silver tooth. You can always tell the kid who eats a lot of sugar, he's got the silver teeth. Jackie had the silver teeth. Well, anyway, to prevent this, one of the things you can do to make it so that doesn't happen is get fluoride varnish. And if you are a recipient of WIC, you get that free. That actually costs a pretty fair amount to get your teeth fluoride varnished, little ones. Have your kids have that done, and that will ensure that they have a healthy mouth. There's also some problem, too, if a kid in elementary school has got jacked teeth. They're going to get bullied. You don't want that. So this puts in a sequence, next thing you know, the kid's shooting up the school. Don't allow that to happen. Get the teeth fluoride varnished. Get more information at KentCountyHealthDepartment.com. You see, those are things that I shouldn't say. And on this show, like what Rob T was saying, I don't have a filter. I say whatever the hell I want. When I'm on Wood Radio, it's like I don't breathe a word of the podcast. You don't want anybody to even know that you're doing a podcast. I might talk about it when I'm doing my voice tracks on Big, but not there because someone's going to cancel your ass. Anyway, get more info about the Kent County Health Department at accesskent.com/health. That's where you go. Or call them 616-632-7200. All right. March 12th, that's our next paintball war with TC Paintball. Sunday, March 12th, the St. Patty Splatty. Paintball war number 22 happens. I want to hear from you if you're going to hang out with us at that next paintball war. Reach out to me, Eric at ericzaneshow.com, or book your own event at TC Paintball today. Stand by. Got to fill my bladder. Thank you to Johnson Carpet One Discount Outlet in Granville, Michigan. If you're on Chicago Drive in Granville, you'll see that Little Caesars. Right behind it, beige, ugly building. That is the discount outlet for Johnson Carpet One. They have every fantastic bit of flooring under the sun, under one roof. Every different type of carpet you can imagine. Any type of flooring, hardwood, vinyl, laminate plank, ceramic. They have it. Drop by, bring a truck or a minivan, whatever you can bring the shit home in. Go to Johnson Carpet One Discount Outlet. Now, this is the lowest price in the whole state for flooring. I can promise you that. Take an additional 10% when you mention my name. Do that. You like saving money, don't you? That's how you do that. Ryan describes the teeth out of the mouth and the metal teeth replacing the teeth as AIDS teeth. Shit. I'm pretty sure you would remember the comic strip in the newspaper called Dilbert. I cannot figure out what's going on here. Okay, there's the guy who made Dilbert, and behind him is the character. So this dude, Scott Adams, for years, draws Dilbert, makes a funny line, writes a funny line. They're not funny, but people like them, especially old people. And they show up in newspapers all across America. Now, I don't know. I was a kid, you'd read Family Circus, you know. Nothing's really funny, but people like reading these things. So this dude is in like thousands of newspapers all across the country. Oh, wait a minute. He was. Now he's out. Talk about, you know, all this guy had to do for the rest of his years, because he looks like he's still got plenty of gas in the tank. He could do this till the day he dies. He could, like, as Chris says, follow Billy's footsteps, family circle. Ryan references Ziggy. Yeah, you got Mary Worth, MD, Little Orphan Annie, Family Circle, Ziggy. How about Wizard of Id? Yeah, you're darn right. Dilbert. Dilbert's now out because this guy hates black people. Holy shit, I'm not even kidding. Audio check. Video check. I don't know what the fuck this is from. He's doing a podcast or something.
Well, Rasmussen poll had a provocative little poll today. They said, do you agree or disagree with the statement, it's okay to be white? That was an actual question. Rasmussen asked, white and black voters, and probably others, do you disagree or agree with the statement, it's okay to be white? 26% of blacks said no. It's not okay to be white. 21% weren't sure. Add them together, that is 47% of black respondents were not willing to say it's okay to be white. That's like a real poll. This just happened. Did you have any idea? Would you have imagined that could have happened?
Okay. Now, all he has to say here is, wow, isn't that something? Well, people are funny. Let's move on. I think you could have survived, but you can tell it. You can tell by the fact that he's now going to be penniless that didn't happen.
So I realized, as you know, I've been identifying as black for a while, years now, because I like to be on the winning team, and I like to help. And I always thought, well, if you help the black community, That's sort of the biggest lever. You can find the biggest benefit. So I thought, well, that's the hardest thing and the biggest benefit. So I'd like to focus a lot of my life resources in helping Black Americans. So much so that I started identifying as Black to just be on the team I was helping. But it turns out that nearly half of that team doesn't think I'm okay to be white, which is, of course, why I identified as Black, so I could be on the winning team for a while. But I have to say, this is the first political poll that ever changed my activities. I don't know that that's ever happened before. Normally you see a poll, you just look at it and you go, whatever. Oh, this is interesting what other people think. But as of today, I'm going to re-identify as white because I don't want to be a member of a hate group. I'd accidentally joined a hate group. So if nearly half of all Blacks are not okay with white people, according to this poll, not according to me, according to this poll, that's a hate group. That's a hate group. And I don't want to have anything to do with them. And I would say, based on the current way things are going, the best advice I would give to white people is to get the hell away from Black people.
Oh, that's the big one. He was towing the line, and then okay,
just get the fuck away.
Oh,
wherever you have to go, just get away, because there's no fixing this. This can't be fixed. All right, this can't be fixed. You just have to escape.
Oh my God.
So that's what I did. I went to a neighborhood where I have a very low Black population. Because unfortunately, there's a high correlation between the density. And this is according to Don Lemon, by the way. So here I'm just quoting Don Lemon when he notes that
I like how he tries to hey, it's not my words. It's this poll and Don Lemon and he's Black.
When he lived in a mostly Black neighborhood, there were a bunch of problems that he didn't see in white neighborhoods. So even Don Lemon sees a big difference in your own quality of living based on where you live and who's there. So I think it makes no sense whatsoever as a white citizen of America to try to help Black citizens anymore. It doesn't make sense.
He could join the Zaniacs.
No longer a rational impulse. And so I'm going to back off from being helpful to Black America because it doesn't seem like it pays off. Like I've been doing it all my life, and I've been the only.
I'm sure you've really been. I'm sure you've really been helping the Black people out all these years.
Outcome is I get called a racist. That's the only outcome. It makes no sense.
No, it does.
Black Americans, if you're white,
no,
it's over. Don't even think it's worth trying.
Oh my God. Holy shit. Oh, man. That is rough. Kenny says, help other people. Love other people, no matter what they look like. A racist scumbag, that guy. Yeah, of course he is. What an idiot. Chris says, this poor victim. What will Black people do without the guy who made Dilbert's support? Hundreds of newspapers have now dropped him. Raise your hand if you have ever heard of Scott Adams. If someone said to you, who does Dilbert? I would say, I have no idea. To me, there's like only one person that anyone knows, and that would be like Charles Schultz. You know? Fuck. Who would it? Calvin and Hobbes. That was a big one. What's next? What's that guy going to do? Is he going to drop the N-word? Newspapers across the country dropped the Dilbert comic strip over the weekend after the creator of the satirical cartoon went on a racist tirade calling Black Americans a hate group and suggesting that white people should get the hell away from them. My God. The move came after Scott Adams, the cartoonist, effectively encouraged segregation in a shocking rant on YouTube. His comments came in response to the poll from conservative firm Rasmussen Reports. So who knows if the poll is accurate or what. They might just throw numbers. That's just, the only reason why they put that out there is so that dipshits like this guy will plant their flag in that. The statement, it's okay to be white. Now, the Anti-Defamation League has noted that that phrase emerged on 4chan in 2017 as a trolling campaign and has a long history in the white supremacist movement. So, as far as I understand, 4chan did that to basically make fun of white people. But so too often, these racists are dumb. They think it's real. So then they adopt it, and it becomes a thing. What was it? That okay sign, that was bastardized to being like white supremacist, but it's not. Doesn't mean anything white supremacist, but white supremacists glommed onto it and made it such. So they ruin everything. They ruined my game where you have to stick your finger in the hole. Made you look. They ruined that shit. Let's see. The Cleveland Plain Dealer newspaper. Scott Adams, creator of the Dilbert comic strip, went on a racist rant this week, and we will no longer carry his comic strip. This is not a difficult decision. We are not a home for those who espouse racism. We certainly do not want to provide them with financial support. Gannett, which publishes the USA Today network of newspapers, tweeted that it aims to, quote, lead with inclusion and strive to maintain a respectful and equitable environment for the diverse communities we serve nationwide. Washington Post, they pulled it. This guy has single-handedly destroyed his career. Oh, my God, is this awesome. And now we're all aware of you. We're all aware of how much of a scumbag you are. Holy shit, that is special. That is a very swift, certain, and severe bit of self-imposed punishment right there from Scott Adams. Wow. Man, is that great. All right, I want to get into this. The story started to bubble under last week. It's a star player for the Alabama Crimson Tide basketball team. His name's Brandon Miller. That's him right there. Alabama is one of the top teams in the nation. And this guy is a bona fide superstar. Something went down where a friend, I guess, called him and said, hey, bring me your gun. I need a gun. And then this dude, Brandon Miller, brought a pistol. And then the guy who called him tipped off a buddy of his, said, yeah, the gun's over there. Something like that. I'm getting some of this wrong. I just don't know all of it. And then the guy he called, he went, got the gun, and killed some chick. So this dude, Brandon Miller, provided the gun that a guy used to kill somebody. And when I'm following the story, I'm like, well, he's in trouble, this guy. I mean, if, okay, let's say you call me up and say, Zane, I need your pistol. Okay. And I give it to you, and then your best friend gets that gun after you tell him where it is, and then he goes and kills his wife. Okay, everybody involved in this should be in big trouble, right? No, not at all. The basketball player, Brandon Miller, not charged with anything, and the local authorities in Alabama are saying, we can't charge him with anything. No crime has been committed, and I'm like, how? How the fuck can that not be a crime? Even if he has a license to carry that pistol, and I don't know that he does, there's got to be some type of gun charge that is some gun law that has been broken or something. I don't know. The South is fucked up, so who knows? But not only that, Okay, you get a box of food showing up at your door from HelloFresh. Best day ever. You're like, oh, man, I cannot wait to open that thing up. That amazing packaging that keeps everything cold and fantastic. You pull out the meals. You're right. We're going to eat like queens and kings at this household with these meals from HelloFresh. Best day ever. Bonus, you get 65% off that box plus free shipping. Oh, my God. HelloFresh has never had a deal like this, and it's only because you are a listener of the Eric Zane Show podcast. HelloFresh.com/Zane65 and use the code Zane65. You get 65% off plus free shipping. That's incredible. HelloFresh.com/Zane65 and then use the code Zane65 for 65% off plus free shipping. Man, I'm telling you, this is life-changing. The food shows up at the door. Everything laid out perfectly. If you know how to read, then you know how to cook amazing meals for your family. Okay? Problem if you don't know how to read. Track down someone in your inner circle who knows how to read, and they will help you. That's how simple this is. HelloFresh, the absolute best fast and fresh recipes. HelloFresh's latest line of meals featuring robust flavors and filling portions are ready in less than 15 minutes. Enjoy taste and quality done quick with recipes like, get this, falafel power bowls. What? Seared steak and potatoes with béarnaise sauce. I had to practice saying that. Or Southwest pork and bean burritos. You'll find quality ingredients in HelloFresh's recipes. In fact, ingredients travel from the farm to your home in less than 7 days, so you know they're fresh. Okay? Again, go to HelloFresh.com/Zane65. Use code Zane65 for 65% off plus free shipping. Check it out. HelloFresh.
Office Depot Office Max has great deals on everything you need to succeed, like stylish furniture and chairs to keep you working comfortably, the latest tech to keep you organized and productive, calendars and planners to keep you on schedule, and cleaning supplies to keep your space spotless. It's the perfect time to stock up on the supplies you need to succeed, from the office to your home and everywhere in between. Need it fast? No problem. Place your order at OfficeDepot.com and pick it up in just 20 minutes at your nearest Office Depot or Office Max store.
And now another no-brainer money-saving tip from Progressive.
It looks like your luggage is over 50 pounds. Is there anything you can take out?
Oh, yeah. Let me just toss all these $20 bills.
Great. Let me grab you a trash can.
Stop. Instead of throwing money away, move some clothes into a carry-on. And here's a better tip from Progressive on how not to waste money. Don't pay too much for car insurance. Drivers who switch and save could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary.
Alabama has said, we're not going to suspend him. There is nothing to suspend this guy over. Added to this, okay, so this all unfolds, this drama, last week. And then during the game that he's playing in, they're introducing him. And I guess he's done this all year. But now it looks especially bad to do this, because when he walks out onto the court during intros, this is what it looks like. One of his teammates pats him down, frisks him. So that's weird. I don't know. If I'm the guy, if I'm Brandon Miller, and I provided a gun which was used to murder someone, and apparently I'm in no trouble, the last thing I want to do when I'm marching on the court is to make it seem like I'm getting frisked. Kind of in poor taste. What's next? Is he going to walk out onto the court and make his thumb and pointer finger like a gun and put it to his head and maybe walk out and fake guns on a holster, pulls out finger guns. Might want to dial that in a little bit more, Brandon Miller. Nate Oates is the coach of the men's basketball team. He said, yep, he's done doing that. Come on. He's been doing that the whole season. You should have said to him before the game starts, hey, Brandon, don't do the police pat down before the game. It's like they're trying to get this guy in trouble. Coach Oates said he believed the pat down intro had been going on all year, but added, regardless, it's not appropriate. It's been addressed. Won't happen again. A little bit more about the case. Tuscaloosa Police Detective Brandon Culpepper testified this week that Miller delivered the handgun to former Crimson Tide teammate Darius Miles. Miles then used in the murder of 23-year-old Jamea Jonay Harris. God, that's even worse. I thought it went Miller to dude to Miles. But I think it just went Miller to Miles death. Maybe that is what happened, because it says the detective said Miles texted Miller to bring him a gun. Miles allegedly told third person Michael Lynn Davis where the gun was located in Miller's car. Okay, so that is what happened. Miller has the gun in his car. Miles calls Davis and says, the gun is in Miller's car. Go get it. Miles admitted to providing the gun to Davis, but said Davis was the one who shot Harris. So there's, these two are fighting over who shot who. They're both arrested, though. They're both facing capital murder charges. So only one of those guys, either Miles or Davis, had to pull the trigger. One of those was just involved in procuring the gun. That's why I don't understand how Brandon Miller, nothing happens to him. How? Miller has not been charged with any crimes for his alleged role in providing the murder weapon. And Tuscaloosa Chief Deputy DA Paula Whitney told AL.com's Carol Robinson there's nothing we could charge Miller with. Ever hear of aiding and abetting? If he doesn't bring the gun, there's not a dead chick on campus. Holy fuck. And the University of Alabama has permitted Miller to continue playing, and Oates defended the decision. The coach, Nate Oates, he's told reporters, we've been taking this seriously from day one. The first minute I got the information, I called AD Greg Byrne, and we talked about it and the severity of it. Greg, I thought, did a great job addressing those comments on Wednesday, and I really don't have much to add to it. He's just saying, talk to him. He's the one that allowed it. We feel like we've done the right thing in this case, so I'm going to leave it at that with Greg's comments. Oh, my God. What a pile of shit. Brandon Miller, the dude who brought the gun, is 6'9" freshman, been the best player for Alabama. They're ranked number 2. The record is 25-4. I think we all know why Brandon Miller is still on the team. Because he's great and the team's doing well. That's it. Sports always trumps. Always. Kill somebody, beat the shit out of your wife, kill a dog, doesn't matter. More often than not, you will get away with it. Alabama's only remaining regular season games are March 1 against Auburn, March 4 against Texas A&M. Then they'll play in the SEC tournament, where they are currently in line to be a number 1 seed. What an absolute travesty. Brandon Miller. Remember that name. Holy cow. This is real shit. Ladies and gentlemen, guess what? I got to go pee. No move. All right. Yesterday at the Grand Rapids Gold game, this is something. We had potential for the other team to be playing with 4 players. They only dressed 7. The Fort Wayne Mad Ants. We only had 8. But right away, one of their dudes got hurt his ankle. And then there was a moment after that happened. This referee named Andy Nagy, who 3/4 of his games he does in the NBA. So I don't know if he's pissed off because he's doing games in the G League sometimes, but he seemed to be a little bit tightly wound, not with me, but with the other team. And something happened when this guy was down. They're getting him off the court, and he says something. The ref says something to the guy who's the one of the assistant coaches for Fort Wayne. And one of their players hears the ref speak poorly to the coach of Fort Wayne, the assistant. And the player butts in. He goes, "Hey, don't talk to him like that. Don't talk to him like that. You don't need to talk to him like that." And then the dude starts defending himself. He goes, "Yeah, man, don't talk to me that way. I've been in this league long enough to not have someone like you talk to me like that." So I guess everybody was like talking rudely to each other. Hello, Laura. Welcome. Good to see you. But anyway, so the guy, now they're down to 6 players. And then one of the guys fouls out. So now they're down to 5. The 5 they got on the court. And then one of their guys has 5 fouls. So if that guy gets a foul, he's out of the game, and they play with 4. That's like Hoosiers. My team is on the floor. So the guy who had 5 fouls on defense, he would just go in the corner and stand. He would not defend in any way, shape, or form. And that was how we won the game, because we just give the ball to the guy that's standing next to him and just have him just stuff it down. The guy can't do anything. And they were kicking our ass the whole game. We couldn't sink a foul shot, and we kept turning it over. Our team played like a bunch of cocks the whole game. But once that happened, they were able to win. Just interesting how it unfolded. Okay. My busy day continues today at Bosco's Pub. If you can make it out in the shitty weather, go get something to eat. I'll be there for dinner tonight. Bosco's Pub. Get yourself a burger. Get yourself a beer. You got the Pistons play tonight. You can watch that shit show. The Wings play tonight. That's not a shit show. You can watch all that at Bosco's Pub. Part of Terrace Square, Hudsonville, Michigan. Jennison Pool and Spa Depot. If you've always wanted to get a pool, in-ground pool in your backyard, this is what you do. If you're in West Michigan, reach out to Jeremy out the door at Jennison Pool and Spa Depot, 616-457-0500. That's 616-457-0500. You get an in-store consultation. Jeremy will tell you how it works, how you pay for that, what your options are, either fiberglass or a vinyl liner in-ground pool. He's got a fine showroom full of the best hot tubs money can buy. All different price points, too. You can get a hot tub installed. You purchase it there. You get it installed. Jeremy will do everything. You need any pool maintenance, hot tub maintenance, chemicals or supplies for those things like a hot tub or a pool, that's where you go. Jennison Pool and Spa Depot, 616-457-0500. Hello to Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. 616-532-6600. Terrific place to get your vehicles repaired at Irvine's. Love them. Free loaner cars are available. Early bird drop-off, late bird pickup, it's all good. Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV, smack dab in the middle of beautiful Grand Rapids, Michigan. Closer to where I live, this story broke over the weekend. Oh, my God. You got a company in West Michigan, and they prepare food. They make food. Like the cereal that goes in the box, they make the actual cereal. It moves along a conveyor belt and gets made. And they also, this company makes flaming hot Cheetos. Now, what they're accused of is tapping into the migrant workforce to make cereal and flaming hot Cheetos. That's fine. But what's not fine is that they went even deeper to get little kids, migrant workers, and said, hey, it's time to make some flaming hot Cheetos. And put these kids working at ridiculous time frames, way too much work for a little kid. I don't know how old. In my brain, they're like 5-year-olds, you know? Which, I mean, frankly, if I'm running a business and I got a way to get some cheap labor, I might try that. But this place just got busted. And now they're up Schitt's Creek because the kids are making the flaming hot Cheetos. Cole says, kids, they took our jobs. Audio check, video check, microphone check. Here we go.
Kent County is at the forefront of a new report that accuses a food manufacturer of violating child labor laws by employing underage workers. News.
Oops, sorry.
States Byron Tallison joins us
I
now
love Byron.
with more on the investigation, plus reaction from a longtime.
I've picked on Byron in the past, but I met him at a Grand Rapids Gold game, so now it's funny because I don't know him. Now I know him. It's not funny anymore.
Migrant lawyer in Grand Rapids, Byron.
Amanda, the investigation found that young workers have been working in potentially dangerous jobs in Kent County to get by, with some even dropping out of school. A food manufacturer in Kent County illegally employed underage migrant children in unsafe conditions, according to a new report from the New York Times. The investigation found that...
So a New York Times report blows the lid off this local company.
Hearthside Food Solutions, a food processing manufacturer with multiple production locations in Kent County, violated child labor laws by employing young workers in dangerous jobs.
But it's the most hidden workforce. Even though I'm not surprised by it, it doesn't shock me at all. A lot of people are still taken aback by what really goes on to get their food on their plate.
Hearthside is one of the nation's largest contract manufacturers, making food for companies like General Mills and Frito-Lay. Some underage workers said moving cereal all night on conveyor belts hurt their backs, and their lungs would sting from spicy dust from large batches of flaming hot Cheetos.
I didn't even think about that. So they're there, and the conveyor belt's moving with flaming hot Cheetos, and the dust gets in the air, and it burns their lungs. Wasn't that a thing? Popcorn lung? Didn't that kill people? Flaming hot Cheetos into their lungs? What, can't they give them masks or something?
At least one was a Union high school student, whom, according to their teacher, dropped out of school as they worked late nights in production.
They have to work to survive. They have to be hired. And when they have to choose between school or earning a living to cover their basic needs or cover expenses for their families back home, they will choose work over their health and over their education every time.
You got to love those Mexicans, man. They work their dicks off. Don't show me a Mexican, and I'll show you the most stout workforce ever. You know, and everybody gives the Mexican shit, but they are a million times stronger than you and I, and they will work circles around your fucking white ass.
Teresa Hendricks has worked as a migrant lawyer in Grand Rapids for more than 3 decades. She says, sadly, this report is not surprising.
I've represented 4- and 6-year-old workers for wage claims. So it's not surprising when I hear about
6-year-olds
exploitation in our food supply chain, and it's not surprising.
I wonder how
that
they're paying these guys.
Workers, especially when
because you can't employ somebody if they're that young. They must just give them a few bucks.
And we have a labor shortage right now, and it's been growing.
Hearthside reportedly hired the underage workers through the Grand Rapids employment agency Forge Industrial Staffing. 3 people who used to work at the agency told the Times that Hearthside supervisors were made aware they were getting younger-looking workers whose identities were flagged as false, but nothing was done about it. Hearthside also reportedly admitted it did not require Forge to verify ages through a national system that checks Social Security numbers. Hendricks hopes the report will lead to improved working conditions and more oversight and accountability of this industry.
Well, I've been representing farm workers for 30 years, and this goes back to my very beginnings. And so about every 10 years, there'll be a major expose where it's exposed. But in between those times, it stays hidden as a private secret. Actually, it's an open secret.
Hearthside says in a statement.
Yeah, the kids that are working there, they're getting money that they wouldn't get anywhere else. It's still shit. But the poverty is so burned into their families that anything like that, they're able to send that money home and provide for themselves and their families in Mexico.
To News 8 that it's appalled by the article, and it's hired a law firm to conduct a review of the company's employment practices and plant safety protocols, which it expects to take 60 days. Hearthside also...
Yeah, so they get popped for this. They need to go ahead and figure out how long all these people were working for them, and then determine the actual wage that they should have made. So that means that this company would have to pay all of that, and then we're going to fine them heavily, and that'll probably be the last time you get busted for doing something like that. And then it's talked about on news stations, radio, because that was all over the radio today, and stupid shows like mine. And then hopefully scumbag businesses won't be likely to do something like this. I mean, you actually have to hire appropriate people and offer a fair wage.
Says it's taken steps to confirm all of its workers are above the age of 18 and comply with all laws and regulations. Forge told the Times it complied with the law and would never knowingly employ individuals under 18. We've reached out to Forge for a statement as well.
All right. So the company Forge there, oh boy, shit rolled downhill fast at the old Radio Ranch today because they were talking about this shit on the air. And then all of a sudden the edict was handed down. No more discussing this anymore. Because I guess Forge advertises on the old radio station. Oh, shit. So just a clusterfuck of nonsense there.
Amanda?
Because these assholes decided to hire young people. I don't think Forge has anything to worry about. But for sure, the company does. Chris says they were old-looking 6-year-olds. Kenny adds, great. Now the price of cereal is going up. Chris also adds, Forge Industrial Staffing. We got kids. Corey adds, it's not an American kid, so no one cares. Another great question from Chris. How many regular employees were working near 6-year-olds and didn't say anything to the news? Amy says, I have a friend who grew up as a migrant worker. He's been contributing to Social Security since he was 5. I've seen the paperwork. Wow. Adnan fires off, dropped out of school because he was coughing up blood. Kenny writes Pokemon cards, suggesting no doubt that that's how they paid the kids. Corey also adds, Free Beer and Hot Wings use this employment agency to get their interns. Chris writes, what would Jocko think about this? 6-year-old making flaming hot Cheetos? Good. Easy way to eat while you work. Fucking Jocko. All right. Meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen, the sale continues. I thought the sale ended, but the sale apparently is back. When I agreed to put my artwork and my T-shirts on TeePublic, I had no idea that every other day they're going to do a massive sale and slash the cost of the T-shirts. So while I don't benefit, you do. So if you've ever wanted to own one of these, they are so stupidly cheap now. You can get a Free Beer and Hot Wings Show T-shirt for $40 or one of mine for $16. All tees, $16 right now. You go to ericzaneshow.com, click on merch. And everything's reduced. Hoodies were $39, now $32. What I like about all the gear is the different choices you can make when it comes to color and size and cut. Because if you look, the classic tee is $16. But you go to the Tri-Blend T-shirt, that's more of a premium shirt. Extra soft was $29, now $22. You get all these different colors, male fit, female fit, different sizes. It does everything, this thing. And it's this premium T-shirt. I don't know. I don't know how that's better. Eco T-shirt. You can get an Eco T-shirt. Recycled. It's made from like pop bottles. Or a heavyweight T-shirt. Oh. Look at, you see the female fit? It's cut more because that's how chicks' figures are. More curves on the ladies. Guys are just as straight. Blocky. So that's a huge sale. Your life is not complete unless you get a Dear Meathead coffee mug. Are you serious? You're darn right I am. Look at that. That thing looks awesome. That's a great looking coffee mug. And I think you can do different colors too. I don't know. Because I have a yellow one. I don't know how you do that. Oh, well. Maybe this is how. Hold on. Yellow coffee mug. I could have swore you could do different colors in the coffee mugs. Maybe not anymore. Okay. EricZaneShow.com. You get stickers. Put a sticker on your car. EricZaneShow.com. Click on merch. Remember when we had to wear masks? If that comes back, you got to get an Eric Zane Show podcast mask. Some people are partial to the pets, the zany bunch, featuring God rest his soul, Buddy Bobcat Face. Look at him. He's so great. I miss him so much. All the rest of them are alive. Daisy for the win with that tongue on that image there. O'Neill's smiling, for God's sake. All right, enough of my shit. Where the hell am I going now? You can tell I'm running out of gas. Former Miami Dolphins cornerback Byron Jones. You've never heard of him. He's only 30. This is another reason why a life in the NFL isn't all that it's cracked up to be. You ever see the NFL player who finishes his career And then at like 36, he's got the body of like a 94-year-old man. This guy, Byron Jones, he was a first-round pick back in just 2015. Now, at that time, the Dallas Cowboys drafted this guy partly because of the scouting combine. And that's going on like this week. That's where the best players go to one place in Indianapolis and they run, see how fast they can run, how high they can jump. They get their measurements. They see how strong they are, how much they can bench press. And this determines adds to their draft stock. All of this, Colin Kaepernick would say, it leads to like proving that the NFL is slavery. Well, that's also a stupid thing to say because, you know, Kunta Kinte didn't get a $12 million deal, so shut the fuck up. At that combine, this guy wowed everybody. He walked up to this one spot where you just have to jump. See how far you can jump. So your feet are flat on the ground, you bend your knees, and off you go. He flew 12 feet 3 inches. Then you jump straight up to measure your vertical jump. And he jumped like as high as like an NBA player when they're running to dunk the ball. His vertical jump was nearly 45 inches. So we're talking pretty much near 4 feet. So right about this high. Standing still, he's going to jump up to like right there. That's unbelievable. He's fast as lightning. Sky's the limit. Okay, you got to hope that he saved his money because right now he is telling the world he no longer can run and he cannot jump at all. He can barely walk. He writes, much has changed in 8 years. I can no longer run. I can no longer jump because of my injuries sustained playing football. Do not take the pills they give you. Do not take the injections they give you. If you absolutely must, consult an outside doctor to learn the long-term implications. After spending his first 5 seasons in Dallas, Jones signed with Miami on a 5-year, $82.5 million deal with $54 million guaranteed in 2020. He is still this year, 2023, on the books for $13.5 million. So he can no longer run, can no longer jump. $13.5 million this year. And made $82.5 million. That's how much that deal was for. So I am here to say, fuck you. If it means that I can't run or jump, no, absolutely put that medicine in my body. How can you possibly say that? Are you telling me with tens of millions of dollars in your bank account, you're upset because you can't jump and run anymore? Fuck that. That's worth it, in my opinion. That is, yeah. Oh, yeah. In fact, if I'm the NFL, I would use that as like a way to recruit players. If you let us put these drugs into you, you too can make this much money. Sure, you won't be able to walk. You won't be able to run. You're probably going to be dead when you're 40. But who gives a fuck? You've got millions of dollars. Wouldn't you? No, in all seriousness. People are kind of taking that to heart. You're seeing that more and more. A lot of players are, retiring way early. They get like 2-3 years and then they're out. That's why I still go back to the greatest job on the planet is backup NFL quarterback. Oh, my God. Jesus. You know, you're not hurt. You got the prettiest wife. You dress up in a costume once a week. Stand there, act concerned, hope that Patrick Mahomes does not get injured. And you're fine. Chad Henne just put an entire career in as a, well, he did start a few years, but for the most part as a backup. You get millions of dollars a year and none of the injuries. What a great, great existence. That's what you want. Chris says, holy shit, my vertical jump is about 6 inches. Yeah, I'd be lucky to get a foot. Corey says Gronk did it the right way. Yeah, everybody gives that guy shit, but he saved every fucking penny. Every game check. He saved his game checks. The only thing, his fun money, his fun coupons, was all endorsement money. Andrew Luck got out of the game for any serious injuries. Yeah, that's true, man. Nowadays, if you're 28, you're like an old man. My God. All right, I just found that incredibly interesting. As I find this story interesting. I saw a video. I don't know if I have it here in front of me. But it was a video. God, I got to get it. I might have to save it. I thought I had it, but I don't. I might have to save it for the Patreon. Okay, got to get some images from this. The country, no, shit. That ain't going to work. It's about the country of El Salvador cracking down on gangs. The government in El Salvador has gotten fed up with gangs ruling the streets. So what they voted on, and it's backed by the population, the people love it. They basically suspended the rights of people and made it so that in a secret police style mission, just go and take people that are suspected of being gang members. And it has eliminated crime. And it was so bad before that's why this drastic measure had to be taken. El Salvador's Congress approved President Nayib Bukele's request to extend the period of special powers for another month, meaning that for one full year, fundamental rights have been suspended in a fight against gangs. The historic results achieved in security confirmed for us that we're on the right path, transforming the country. The Legislative Assembly in El Salvador voted 67 in favor to 6 opposed late Tuesday night. 8 lawmakers abstained, 3 did not attend. After a surge in gang violence in March of 22, in which 62 people were killed in a single day across the country, not a big country, Bukele requested special powers to pursue the gangs. Street gangs had long plagued El Salvador, stifling the economy with oppressive extortion rackets and displacing thousands within the country and abroad through violence. They rounded up 64,000 people. Now, pesky human rights organizations have criticized the situation. Bukele's rejected the criticism, saying the measure has broad support in El Salvador. Violence has dropped to a non-existent level And people are returning to their neighborhoods that were long controlled by the gangs. Last year, El Salvador reported 495 homicides. That's the lowest figure in decades. And that number did not include at least 120 gang members killed in confrontations with cops. And they've built a massive new prison to house 40,000 gang members. Now, what I wanted to show you was how these guys are treated. Corey says, just roll down the street shooting gang members. It's kind of like that. Check this out. They just strip them down to nothing, give them a pair of shorts, shave their heads, lock their hands behind them, and make them run bent over. And if they give any amount of shit to the cops, that they just beat the fuck out of them. One of the things you'll notice is that all the authorities that are in this, they're all masked. Everyone there is masked. So you can't tell who they are, because the second that the cops' identity is known, their family's dead. This is so great. You notice that they all have tattoos on their faces and their necks. That's because it's part of the gang life. It says here that helicopter security forces kept an aerial view of the buses transporting inmates. They do that because they're afraid that the gang will try to break these guys out of the buses. So then they open fire as they transport these fucking idiots. I love this. They needed to do this shit in Chicago. I love how they strip them down to nothing and make them feel less than human, okay? Because they are. You know? Now you're alone in the world, okay? Now you're part of the prison population. Wow. Man, these cops, all they want to do is bash one of these guys in the back. I kind of feel bad for him a little bit. Look at that. They're all hoarded up over there. It looks like one of those scenes in the movie, what the fuck? Shit. iRobot. No, that's not it. It's Will Smith. It's not iRobot. It's I-something. And there's zombies, and they're all huddled in a corner. It looks just like this. Is that iRobot? No, it's not iRobot. Why do I keep saying iRobot? It's I know that's I-something. Fuck. There it is. There it is. I Am Legend. Damn it. I can never get the movie. Look at this shit. Now, if you're just listening to the audio podcast, obviously you can't see it. I know that. But click on the link and watch this story and how it unfolds. And they line these scumbags up. Wow, they're all packed into that little area. They should announce, start butt fucking the guy in front of you. This be the world's biggest daisy chain. Civil rights be damned. Fucking bullshit. These gang bangers deserve everything they get. We need more of this. Wow. Intense. Big fan. Big fan of that. Ryan says it looks like a Proud Boys meeting. I don't know about that. They'd have much more facial hair. Facial hair and long hair. You know how the Proud Boys are. Come on. We look no further than Matt and Proud Boys Bark and Stone. Matt's a great ally of the show. I cannot figure out why Matt over at Best Bark and Stone Maybe it's because I give it to him free all the time. He's like, I just can't do it. I just can't market my place on there. What are you afraid of, you stupid pussy? The fuck is wrong with you? Everybody knows what they're getting when they sign up with my show. Just because you're a MAGA F rhymes with Baggett, just because you're a MAGA Baggett doesn't mean that you can't, advertise your stupid mulch on the show, you asshole. Good God. You're a perfect example of how we can get along with MAGA scum like you. Jesus, fuck. What are you doing? You idiot. Look at Kyler there. He's a MAGA piece of shit, too. He's the worst kind. He's a Guatemalan MAGA scum asshole. Maureen makes a great point. If the Kent County Health Department can advertise with EZ, he can too. Exactly, you dipshit. Give me your fucking money. Jesus. Until then, everybody get your mulch from Rourke's. Say yes to Rourke's and no to Oath Keepers Bark and Stone. Ryan says you read a line from Maureen, but you did not do an impression of Maureen. If the Kent County Health Department can advertise with EZ, he can too. And I need a big cock. Good thing I married my husband who's got a huge package. I don't know where that came from. Okay, I got to pee again, but I'm just going to do these ads, and then I'm going to just end the show because I'm peeing too much. That's all there is to it. I can't do it anymore. I'll continue this discussion on the Patreon. Why aren't you there? Are you telling me that you're enjoying this free podcast and just kind of like freeloading, and you're not part of the Patreon crowd? Listener-supported, ad-free Patreon? How can you possibly do that? This is my livelihood. Join us on Patreon. I don't care if you don't watch a minute of it. I just want your money. Patreon.com/Eric Zane, you cheap bastard. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. The show will start in moments because I gotta catch up. Today's a long day. Got to catch up. And I still want to get that shit done so that I can go get a nap. But before I announce the asshole of the day, thank you to my favorite Mexican, Joe Martinez, 616-516-8579. He is the CEO, owner, operator of A&E Heating and Cooling. If you need any help with your setup, furnace, air conditioner, this is who you call. 616-516-8579. I've got a mortgage expert, the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Anywhere in the U.S., it doesn't matter. You can call Mario. There are exceptions. Alaska, Hawaii, South Carolina, Maine. Otherwise, 231-332-6505. 231-332-6505. NMLS number 3035. It's tax time. I have an accountant for you. Now, the Gins, Troy Ginzer, has done my personal account taxes for years. Now he does my kids. He does the NFKs. He does my business tax. He also set up my S Corp, and he takes care of my payroll for me for the one employee at Eric Zane Productions LLC. Tag accounting and tax services. So whether you need a personal return done or a business tax, or you want him to run your business payroll like he does me, you can take advantage of that. 616-301-9516. And don't forget about Sarah Honda Granville. If you're in the market for a brand new car, test drive a new Honda today at Sarah Honda Granville along 44th Street, just north of Kennewa Avenue. Love it so much. They also have the largest selection of certified pre-owned cars in the entire state. It's not even close. Acres and acres of cars. Can't miss it. So go see them and mention my name at Sarah Honda Granville. Online at sarahhondagranville.com. Okay, what do we have for the asshole of the day? I got one. I am going to give it, brought to you by TC Paintball, to Scott Adams, the creator of Dilbert. Way to go, dumb fuck. Your career's over. You stupid fucking racist prick. That is your asshole of the day. So glad to be back with you after a day of, doing radio and not swearing and acting like a fucking raving lunatic. It's good to be back with you. Okay? Thank you so much for supporting this show for the last 4+ years. You are awesome, awesome, awesome. And thank you for supporting me on Patreon. We'll get to that coming up a little bit later on. That's it, though. That's my time. Thanks again, folks. Love you. Till next time, have a good one. Bye-bye.
If you're looking to move out of your parents' place, you could really cut expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive, which is good because your little brother has gotten really territorial. You're blood related. You'd think it would be fine to share food in the fridge. I mean, who writes their name on every individually wrapped slice of cheese, Tyler? Still, you've got to admire the commitment. So bundle your renter's and car insurance with Progressive and use the savings to help you move out and have all the cheese you want. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers.
Office Depot Office Max has great deals on everything you need to succeed, like stylish furniture and chairs to keep you working comfortably, the latest tech to keep you organized and productive, calendars and planners to keep you on schedule, and cleaning supplies to keep your space spotless. It's the perfect time to stock up on the supplies you need to succeed, from the office to your home and everywhere in between. Need it fast? No problem. Place your order at OfficeDepot.com and pick it up in just 20 minutes at your nearest Office Depot or Office Max store.